Hello, hello. So I am super excited today to be having this conversation with Laura Horsburgh from Laura Loves Yoga. But Laura loves more than yoga, so that's why I'm super excited to speak to her today, because this woman has so many incredible skills, talents, facets to share with this world. But it's great that we get to experience some of that today. And my hope is that these conversations are really to inspire and educate and just encourage us to recognize that there's so many different modalities in this world that can support us in the lives that we lead. So welcome, Laura. Do you want to do a little intro who you are?
Yes, hi, thank you for this opportunity to have a chat. So I'm a married mum of two girls, living in my hometown of Aberdeen. But like you say, my life's taken me down so many different paths and adventures due to my love of learning, my love of travel, my love of meeting people, and just always being such a curious person, wanting to just understand myself, understand the world, and so on. So following many years of working in the corporate sector, laterally the public sector, I left to focus on being a full-time mum, and in time just sort of discover what my passions were again. I knew I didn't want to go back to that. It just didn't feel right. And at the same time, I knew I wanted to do something. So I sort of went down that path of exploring holistic therapies, initially Reiki and then yoga. And I set up my business, Laura Loves Yoga, in 2017 when I was starting my yoga teacher training. But that has evolved so much, like you said, as well.
Particularly, I love that, because I think we first met when you had started your podcast, and then obviously we forged this nice friendship since then. And I love watching your journey and transition through from the Reiki to the yoga to the podcast to the
it's just, I've been learning so much. It's been that opportunity, hasn't it? So many lockdowns and things, just to keep learning, to keep focused on something that's positive. How can I be of service to the world? What can I do? Or, what are my gifts? So really learning about myself. And I've also completed my intuitive soul coach training as well.
Yeah.
So that I can really, really help other people on a deeper level. So, but what I've kind of discovered is, or the biggest shift I've found in myself is just really owning who I am as well, and thinking about the aspects of all the things I've learned, what resonates with me the most, what feels true to me, so that I can be my most authentic self. And, it is this stuff around energy work. I've always been drawn to this. So I've got to own that, I can heal people just through in my presence, my words, my direction, and so on. So I definitely see myself as a healer. And the aspects of yoga that I love in particular are breath work, meditation, and just really helping people unlock who they are. So looking at the conditioning, the stories, and so we can really get to the core of who we really are and just sort of live that happy, fulfilling life.
Yeah, I love that. And as you're speaking, I'm just seeing that evolution occur from, all the things that you've done in the past, kind of all pooling together. Obviously the podcast, for example, is a great way to to connect with people and, help support people in that way. And also, obviously the yoga, the energy work, and because what was your background again before? What did you do before again?
Well, I studied publishing at university. I wanted to do some kind of media type degree. I've worked in media relations for sport. I've worked in radio and marketing. I've worked in alumni relations, university, event management, communications, customer relationship management, all these kind of things. So I do, this is what I sort of explain that I've done. I follow the breadcrumbs. Like, I followed things that have interested me at the time. And it's almost like by trusting in that process and not getting caught up in the, oh, but that route doesn't have much prospect, or that's, you're not going to earn much doing that, trying to escape all that idea around expectations of me and stuff. So just, oh, I really like that, I'm going to explore this, and then it leads to something else. So it's like just being guided, and then before you know it, you've experienced all these different things.
Yeah, you're like, how did I get here?
Yeah.
But yeah, pulling it all together, definitely. Sorry, what I was just thinking there was, you'd mentioned kind of people's stories. And that's why I was thinking back to your previous careers as well, kind of working within media, radio, your podcast is kind of looking at people's stories as well, but just in a different way.
Yeah, it is. And I think, I know for myself, particularly when I sort of entered the world of yoga, and again, I never planned to become a teacher. I just, kept learning. And before I knew it, I was on this teacher training course. And I found myself getting caught up in that title, teacher, and expectations around what I should teach, and looking outside of me and looking at other people. Maybe I should be more like that, or maybe my students want more of this. And the imposter syndrome, all that stuff that I know everybody experiences, perfectionism tendencies and all this sort of stuff. And it's when I just shed all that, thought, no, I'm just going to be me. I'm just going to be me, and I'm just going to do the aspects that I know are meaningful and have made a difference to me. Some people aren't going to like it. That's another story I've had to deal with, that this people pleasing and trying to be something for everyone, it just doesn't work, so that's been the sort of evolution of where I am now, just shedding all that. And I want to help other people do the same.
Yeah, I love that. You maybe kind of just like hinted into my next question there anyway, but just like, so obviously you do soul coaching now, so it's like a more aligned form of coaching. How does that differ to traditional life coaching, to say?
Yeah, well, there's a place for all types of coaching. And I guess in some ways that is, it's a tricky one for me to answer, really. But I think the people that I attract are the ones who are ready. They're ready for deep transformation. They know, or they recognize that there's some work to do, and that they're open to a holistic approach. They're interested and curious about this mind, body, spirit connection. So, sometimes we set ourselves goals, and we might get a coach to help us achieve our goals. But often we will slip back into the old routine again, and back onto that familiar path. And I think you'll sort of lose that focus and momentum. And I think weight loss is a good example. How many times do we cycle in that, losing weight and getting some help to lose weight, and then it all comes back on again? Well, I guess when you work with me, it's digging deeper, like, what are the triggers? What is making you cycle back to where you were in the beginning? And it's often this deep conditioning or stories or whatever it might be. So it's an excavation really of what's going on for someone, their belief system, and it's things that are sort of in their subconscious mind. So it's a lot of deep work in that respect. It's really transformational work that I do, so that we can be free from the thoughts, the beliefs, the stories that are holding us back, and just finally letting go. And who are we? Do I even believe any of that, or is it something that I've inherited along the line from other people? So just establishing that we are all unique people, and let's find out who we really are. So that's what I love to do. That's what I'm passionate about.
I love it. And very similar to yourself, I guess my coaching has evolved in that way, in that I used to have my separate modalities of meditation teacher and Reiki healer and then life coach, and and now I combine all those together. And as you say, that's where you get that really deep energetic transformation in people, because you're encompassing everything, mind, body, soul, and the deeper energy work as well.
Definitely.
Which
And
is
that's where
hugely.
the intuition part comes in as well, because I don't want, personally, for me as well, looking at my own life, I don't want to be falling back into my old pattern of thinking that I've got to be a certain type of coach because that's the way you should coach people. No, I've got to tap into and trust my intuition, and I want to help other people learn how to do this so that I can just be really present with whoever's in front of me, see beyond the words, and just really trust where I'm being guided, and I can feel their energy, I can feel where the blocks are, and sort of approach it from that place. Some people won't be ready for some modalities that we might use in soul coaching, and others will be. So it's just really taking everyone as a complete individual. So it's a very bespoke service.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. So interesting. And what would you say is like the favorite part of your job?
Well, I love feedback when people say that they've noticed the positive shifts and that life feels exciting for them again.
Yeah.
That they feel more themselves than they've ever done, and they're appreciating their life and they're appreciating the world around them. That just totally lights me up. They're no longer looking externally, and they're more at peace inside. I love that. Beautiful. When they tell me these stories, I love it.
Beautiful. Yeah, because I made some notes before, and just thinking about these conversations, and one of the purposes of this as well really is for me to kind of demonstrate to people that they can live a life that feels aligned and joyful, that you feel that you fit. Yeah, because I guess there's so often we go through life and we just feel like something just doesn't quite fit, that we're not in quite the right place or doing the right thing, or and as you say, your intuition plays such a huge part in finding that.
It really does. Children by nature are very intuitive. I don't know if you can think back to your own childhood and just how you're just guide yourself quite happily along, and you do the things that are fun, and you do the thing, and you don't do the things that you don't enjoy and stuff. And we just lose that part of ourselves. I was that child who would be staring up at the sky in wonder, really thinking deep things like, gosh, so the space goes on forever. It's infinite. I didn't know the word infinite at the time. I was just trying to get my head around that, and I was always interested in astrology and all the sort of magical, mystical things that you would hear sprinklings of, but that a lot of people would just think, oh, nice, but it's not real life. But I sort of held on to that, and I'm thinking, well, I really love all that. And life gets in the way. So it's been really nice to come back to some of these things that I loved as a child.
Absolutely. Oh, so exciting. Yeah, entering that dreamer stage again, allowing ourselves to dream and not feel so stuck. So obviously I know that you love your yoga and your breath work and all the tools. What else do you do to support yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, all the things?
Yeah, nothing fancy, nothing expensive, at all, really. I need time on my own. I need time on my own to recharge. And I also need time to have fun. I've realized that is so important to me. And I think it sort of taps back into that inner child I was speaking about a moment ago. So any opportunity just to forget responsibility and just have some fun. And that can be even like watching a comedy or something on TV. But of course, if we have the luxury of being able to go on holiday or something, and go to a water park, for me would be the ultimate fun activity. I love things like that. So just really, escaping the day-to-day and having fun is important for me, because a lot of the time we just don't allow ourselves time to do that. We put everybody else ahead of our own needs. But yeah, it's not all yoga. I think perception is, because I'm a yoga teacher, I might be up every morning doing sun salutations, and I've never been that person, but I do find that I need to connect within, and I do that through my breath work and maybe slipping into visualization or a meditation. And also another important thing is I really am conscious of who I spend time with as well. So surrounding myself with positive messages, positive people where possible. I know it's not always possible to do that, especially some people might be feeling a bit stuck or unhappy in their work. So in those situations, it's things like coming home, immersing yourself in positive books or listening to podcasts or, you know, whatever it might be, where you can be around people who uplift you and shine some light on the world. Because, you know, it's been a really challenging time, and it continues to be a challenging time. So don't watch the news. You can dip into it, but don't let it dominate, I think is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know about you, Susie, but this week even, there's evidence of people just really buying into all the messaging they're hearing around them, and it's just living in scarcity and fear that fuel's going to run out and food's going to run out and all this, you know, and it's it's difficult, you know, so it's nice to just try and escape that and go within and trust that you've got everything you need within you to navigate whatever life throws at us.
I have to laugh about that because yesterday, I don't watch the news at all. Okay, so yesterday I did actually go for fuel, and I was just thinking, gosh, the petrol station is really busy today. This must be what it's like on a Friday. Maybe it's because it's a holiday weekend in Aberdeen. Everybody's topping up their car for fuel. And then it was a friend down south that mentioned she's a nurse, and she's traveling quite a lot at the moment. And she had mentioned that, and I was like, oh, I just thought it was really busy in the petrol station. So
it makes me a bit sad, you know, think it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. But sadly, you know, there's a real fear culture around. So it takes people who work in this realm to come forward and just try and help those who need it the most at the moment, I think.
Yeah, and I love what you said about just being around people who kind of light you up or inspire you or have good energy or positive energy, and also the reading of the books, podcasts, etc. Because I know from my own experience, all last winter I used to get up and muck out my horses, and I permanently have a podcast in my ears every morning. And it wasn't until the horses went out in the summer, I was like, I felt a little bit of a shift in my mood, and I couldn't quite pinpoint what the difference was, like what's changed, why am I feeling this way? And it was the podcast. It was because I didn't have that immediate thing first thing in the morning, just kind of listening to that inspiring stuff. So it is really important to think about how you can get that. If you don't have those people around you, do you dive into books or groups where people will, you know, be of similar mindset? Or
that's it, exactly. Listening to uplifting music, you know, instead of the news in the morning, I started listening to some music channels and things, or putting a playlist together, some old 80s hits and things that, you know, were 90s dance music, just something that would just be a bit of a boost first thing in the morning. What a difference.
We did that in the Spirit and Soul membership. We created a happy playlist. Everybody popped in their favorite tunes, and it's such a mix of
I love it.
Dance tunes to 70s disco to it's awesome, a real good high vibe list. So you kind of touched on it there, but what kind of things inspire you? I know I can see a map in the background. I know you've mentioned travel. Is that?
Oh yeah. I would love exploring the world, learning and meeting new people, definitely. I think what inspires me is just, I suppose, this firm belief system that I've kind of adopted now, that we can live a meaningful, fulfilling life when we accept that we're all in this together. You know, we can make a difference to future generations by doing our bit to make the world a better place, and it starts by doing that inner work ourselves. You know, healing old wounds, and it can be it's not always an easy thing to do, but we do have this way of just putting a plaster on everything, brushing things under the carpet, and it's like, no, we don't need to be this way. We can actually choose another way. So other people that do this work who I've learned from inspire me, you know, and maybe I can inspire other people too. So I guess people, places, cultures, you know, all the good positive stuff that we can take from different places to help us make the world a better place, and just watch the ripple effect as well. That when, you know, I've helped someone who was feeling really not happy at work to the point they were questioning, oh, why am I here? I don't even enjoy this anymore. And so we really looked at, you know, how she was spending her time, and she realized that she'd just kind of lost herself in her work, and she was no longer doing the things that lit her up. So the finding the fun and following her passion, you know. So once she was like, oh yeah, I could do with a passion project. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I thought that's amazing. And then she has quite an influential role. And then once she was in a better place, she was able to share that with colleagues around her, clients, and so on. And there goes the ripple effect, you know. And I just, oh yes. So you're not just touching one person. Absolutely. You're potentially touching, I don't want to say any figures, but you know.
I mean, it is, yeah. It's like, it's in like, yeah, you're infinite that you mentioned earlier, because yeah, it's that energy, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's an energy transfer, and that's just so exciting. And to think that I can contribute to that just encourages me to keep going. And even though you're putting yourself out there and it can be scary doing these kind of things and videos on social media, I know I was a person that shied away from that, but I understand, you know, I've got to get over that, because I've got skills, the gifts to help other people, and I just have to come forward and do that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, love it, love it. So you're going to be doing a breathwork masterclass within the Spirit and Soul membership, which I am super excited about, which is going to take place on the 26th of October. So for our members that are listening, what can they expect from that session?
Well, our breath is a fabulous tool for bringing ourselves home to our inner self. You know, it's a great tool that I love to use. So I'll be sharing a simple practice that has incredible physical and mental benefits. And I also might surprise some people with some of the information that I'll be sharing as well. There's been lots of research done in the world of breathwork, and there might be a few aha moments. And yeah, there might be a couple of surprises in there too. And I'm really happy that we're doing it live as well, because I can see people and, you know, I can answer questions and just feed off their energy and all the rest of it. So I think that'll be really good fun. I'm looking forward to it very much.
Amazing, amazing. So if you do want or are interested in finding out a bit more about the Spirit and Soul membership, and you're not currently a member, I do have a 7-day free trial just now. So if you're listening or watching this, before the 26th, come and join Laura, myself, and the rest of our incredible community to experience this session, along with, we actually have another class from Laura in there on chakra balancing yoga as well. It was one of the first sessions I think we had in the Spirit and Soul membership. And I guess so much has changed and transformed for you in that time, Laura, from then, along with the membership as well. It's like grown so much incredible goodness in there. But also Laura has just released her own breathwork. What would you call it? Masterclass or?
Yeah. So it's something that I taught earlier this year, actually, and I recorded it. And I hadn't done anything with it for a long time, but I had such great feedback. And like I say, it's an area that I'm very passionate about. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to package this up and I'm going to sell it and see if other people want to benefit from it as well, and share it with family, friends, whatever. So it is available to buy. If anyone wants to learn more, they can have a look at my social media. There's some links in there to find more information. And I don't know if you want me to share those links now, or if you're going to...
Yeah, feel free to share how people can connect with you.
Okay, so I'm on Instagram at laura.loves.yoga, and I'm on Facebook as well. Less active there than I used to be. Facebook at Laura Loves Yoga. And I've recently started up my LinkedIn profile again. I think when I left the corporate world, I thought, I'm not going in there. But then I don't know, there's people here that need help as well. So I'm in LinkedIn under the name of Laura Horsburgh, and you'll see me there, yoga and soul-led intuitive coaching. And of course, my podcast that Susie kindly mentioned, Susie's on my podcast too. So that is the Laura Loves Yoga podcast. I've got 2 series worth of material where I spoke to lots of wonderful, inspiring people. So much fun to make. I was just, really having fun with that. And by no means does it sound like Oprah Winfrey's or anything like that, but there's some really nice people, and there's topics from nutrition to, there's coaching things in there as well. There's the lunar cycle and the moon. I spoke to someone about workplace bullying and gemstones. There's all sorts of stuff in there. And I am pleased to say that I am starting my podcast back up again, and maybe a little bit different to what it has been for the first 2 series. And I expect or hope to do that probably fortnightly, starting very soon.
Amazing. Oh, exciting. I cannot wait to have a listen and see what you begin to cover as through your evolution and what you have to share with the world. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we head off?
Is there anything else I'd like to add? So let me see. Yeah, I'm going to be working on some more offerings and things. I've mentioned my podcast. I'm just really grateful for this opportunity to come and talk. Like you say, a lot's changed since the last time we connected for your membership group anyway. So if anyone wants to reach out, please do. I love meeting people, happy to answer any questions. I'm very passionate about what I do. So yeah, just a big thank you.
Awesome. Thank you to you too. So look forward to connecting with you on Tuesday, the 26th of October within the membership, and then obviously out with there and beyond, to infinity and beyond.
Love it.
Brilliant. I look forward to speaking to you soon.
And you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.